Hey, what's up? I finally finished rinsing the dirt off of this car, at least most of the dirt. This is my daughter's Honda Accord. Fairly new to her. It was a used car. It's in great condition. Just a few minor problems. Today I actually was going to clean my oldest daughter's car because her sorority wrote all over the windows and she couldn't get it all off. So I actually did that first. And while I was doing it, thought about it and I thought, it'd be a great day to clean Natalie's car as well. So that's what I'm doing today. And anyone who knows me knows I use Chadwicks. Chadwicks Triple Play is actually a waterless product. So it's not necessary to have your water hose handy. Unfortunately, with Natalie's car, because she lives on a dirt road, there was a pile, and I do mean a pile, maybe even a ton of dirt from the road on this car, and probably still is. I haven't opened the engine compartment to look at it. I'm really meticulous, and I'd probably have a nervous breakdown and die at that point. But anyway, so what we did was we rinsed all the dirt and literally just kind of stuck the water hose in to get it out of all the cracks and all the little places that are on her car. Trying to come back and take a look. She actually has a pile of dirt still on here. Now we've loosened it up with the water hose. We've gotten off as much of it as we possibly can, but as you can tell, when I run my finger through this particular area, nothing is moving. It's basically dirt that has just gotten ground into it, and it just looks nasty. Well, Chadwicks actually puts a nice wax onto your car and keeps it in great condition. If you love your car, which you better, because your car is only going to last as long as you love it, you need to invest and buy a product that works for you. And there are a pile of products on the market. Chadwicks is actually the product that I prefer. Someone introduced me to it last year at a car show. Last year, might have been the year before that, at a car show, and I've kind of been a believer ever since. So as you can tell, our house is full of Mustangs, and that's basically all I use on my car is Chadwicks Triple Play, which you can always check them out online at chadwickstripleplay.com. My rep is actually from Georgia. I'm sure you can tell from the accent. And his website is alwaysperfectauto.com. Aaron Bickle, shout out to Aaron. He takes really good care of all of us Georgia people. He, Scott, and Donald are awesome to work with, and they'll get you hooked up. If you have any questions or concerns about the product before you buy it, or you just want to see an in-person demonstration so you'll be a believer. And I get it, because I wasn't really a believer to begin with until I started using the product and someone demoed it on my car. And that's how I ended up here with a great looking car. It's always shiny, always pretty. I keep a nice coat of wax on it. Beautiful. Chadwicks Triple Play does an incredible job of just really detailing out your car. And in the tire care department, they also include in your Chadwicks Triple Play bag, which I don't have one of because I normally buy the gallon now after my first bag, which includes some microfiber towels as well as a bottle of Chadwicks like this, and it includes a block like this and some microfiber towels. That's actually in your first kit, and that'll get you started. You can learn more about that on their website. I do not work for Chadwicks. I do not get paid for telling you about Chadwicks or posting my pictures. It's same scenario. You go to the grocery store, you find a great deal, you go on Facebook, you post it, you call your friends and tell them to go. So basically, I'm just sharing with you my secret of my car. And it's always getting compliments. I'm still amazed today. The car looks better now than it did when I bought the car. The person who owned my car previously didn't take care of it. And I've really taken the time to keep my car very, very clean. And with Chadwicks Triple Play, I've been able to accomplish mission impossible. So let's get started on Natalie's car and let's take a look again. Just going to kind of show you the dirt that she has on her car. Now this one's still kind of moving just a little bit. Over here, that dirt's just basically ground in. What we're going to do is we're going to block the car today. I'm going to show you how simple it is to get the excess dirt off of your car and get the Chadwicks Triple Play shine on so your car can too be Chadwick. So what you need to have in order to block your car, your handy dandy bottle of Chadwicks Triple Play. I have my block right here, and like I said, I don't have the Chadwicks bag because I go to a lot of car shows. So usually when I get my microfiber towels clean and ready, I put them in a Ziploc bag to ensure there's no trash or particles on them. Since Chadwicks is a waterless product, you want to make sure that you eliminate any outside elements. So for the blocking process, you just take your rag and you quarter it up, and actually I keep mine rolled up, so basically when I unroll it, it looks like this. and I have one on the right, and then I take an additional one out and put on the left. I like to make sure that the towel corners are forti-coated to make it easier for me to control the towel as I'm cleaning and wiping. So I have an additional towel here, and I'm going to lay it beside me, and I have an additional towel here as well. So quarter folded, easy to control. So basically, to block the car, we are going to take our block out. And like I said, I'm just sharing my secret with you. I don't get paid from Chadwicks. I just thought today, wow, it'd be kind of cool. I could have video. I'm not really doing anything today. All the kids are in the house asleep. All my college students are home. The house is actually quiet. So I just thought I would do something nice and clean up vehicles. So basically, you're going to spray your Chadwicks on. And since I'm going to be working in a particular area, as you can tell, it's sunny outside. You don't want the sun beaming down on the car as you're cleaning it. It'll cause it to streak if you're not careful, and you want to do it in kind of a shady place, and as you can tell, it's pretty shady right here. So we're just taking our block, and has a rubber side, a little harder firm side on this side, which is a sponge side on the back side, and you're going to basically just run the block across the area. Now, with situations like this, and I've actually worked on someone else's car in the past, they actually worked at a factory, and they made steel, and all their cars had lime in the paint. Woo! I'm losing my Chadwicks. Trying to keep her car tag covered up. Let's see. There we go. So he actually worked at a plant, and his car was just completely full of lime and grit. It took a little time, but we spent probably half a day doing this, and it all came out smooth as a baby's booty. So take your Chadwicks rag. Be sure to spray some Chadwicks on. You want to keep it nice and moist. And then you're going to run across the area once, and then wipe again. You're not bearing down hard on it. You're basically just wiping, letting the cloth drop, and swiping the cloth. Now, because there's so much grit in here, I usually have to do it several times in circumstances like this. With the other car that we worked on, like I said, it took probably half a day, but we were able to get every last bit of grit out of that car. It was a beautiful Mustang. It totally changed the appearance of it and really just did what I thought was impossible. So I'm basically just wiping on and wiping off. I always like to run my finger across and check the consistency. It feels like going to the beach still when you go and you spend the whole day at the ocean and you come back and you climb in your bed and you forgot that you had sandy feet the night before. That's what this car feels like. I hate that feel of grit. I am OCD. I will take extra sheets and change my sheets if we're at a condo, or I will call room service to change it, because I do not sleep in grit and I do not like grit on cars. So still just taking my rag, keeping it moist, wiping on and wiping off, and checking the consistency. Seems to be lifting pretty good. I'm just going to keep blocking it. It's a nice fall day today. It's actually like only, I think, 66, 67. Might be in the low 70s now. The hurricane is actually off the coast of Florida, and we're all waiting to see how that's going to pan out. My oldest daughter left from Savannah yesterday when her school closed down. So that's why I have all the kids at my house. And Dadley came down and we celebrated my oldest her birthday, which is actually next week. We went ahead and celebrated it last night. So normally my house is quiet, but we had a house full of youngins last night. So basically I've been wiping on, wiping off. And just to kind of show you what it's doing at this point, see if you can tell, if I don't drop the phone, there's still some grit in there. So basically this is just kind of a process. We're just going to keep wiping on, wiping off. So I'm spraying a little Chadwicks, blocking it. And when you're using the block, the thing you want to do is really make sure that you're not pressing down onto the block when you're using it, just like with the rags. You're basically dropping them and wiping, swiping. I call it swiping. With the block, you're usually doing somewhat similar, so I'm still spraying. I drop the block, and I just basically use my fingers to lightly go over it. I can actually still feel some of the grit in the paint at this point. And like I said, it's just going to be kind of a process, just trying to get it to release. The good thing about Chadwicks is that not only does it clean your car and make it beautiful, it actually smells like the beach. Like you've been at the beach all day and you have a nice tan going on. So we're still spraying and spraying. And I'm not going to stop the video at this point to work this process. I don't want anyone to think that I took any shortcuts or represented the product wrong, so we're just going to keep running the video at this point. And there again, keeping my rag moist, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah, wiping on, dry rag wiping off. It's starting to feel a lot smoother at this point. And like I said, it's just a process. You figure you spend half your life working to make your house payment and make your car payment, you might as well take care of your stuff, because there's no need in basically neglecting it. It's like having a dog and not caring for it. You want to take the best care of your car that you possibly can, and with Chadwicks Triple Play, that actually gives you the opportunity to do so. Now, what we're going to do, and I have text messages popping in, we're just going to kind of go over this. You can start to see it's looking kind of shiny at this point. Looking very mirror-like. Still a little grit in there. I've been wiping over to about right here, so you can kind of tell on this side it's still gritty and dirty. This side is really starting to lift. So we'll just put this back here and keep wiping. I guess you probably already figured it out, but I'm a talker. I like to talk. I actually used to get paid to talk when I worked at the radio station. I'm still just kind of wiping over, and like I said, just drop it and run over it. It's really simple. There's no bearing down. There's no breaking your fingers to get this taken care of. You're just basically dropping it, swiping it, using the rag to wipe it. And normally when you use your Chadwicks, you're gonna wipe, I call it spray, swipe, and haze. And the reason being is because when you're wiping your car down, whether you do it once a day or every couple of days or however you do it, you're going to wait for the haze to appear, and I'll show you how that works as well here in just a few minutes. So I'm still just kind of spraying and wiping, not really bearing down. You can probably kind of tell, and you might have to zoom in. When you use Chadwicks and you start cleaning your car, you'll notice that once you spray it on, it does go on yellow. If you have a lot of dirt still in your car, then you'll start to see the Chadwicks turning brown as it starts to run, and it's basically just lifting up the dirt from your car. Now, let's see. I'm going to see if we can show this. And there again, we're outside, and we don't want to be in direct sunlight because Chadwicks works best when you're actually in a shaded area. So that's why we're trying to get the car done. Otherwise, I'm going to have to move it to the garage. Okay, so you can kind of see, and yeah, like I said, this is a used car. There's some paint problems. But you can kind of tell that that side is looking a little bit smoother. And when I run my finger over here, this is all very gritty still. But it's starting to lift. And that's what the objective of this video is to show you how Chadwicks Triple Play can lift the grit from your car and clean your car, leaving you with a Chadwicks Triple Play shine. So spray a little bit more Chadwicks on, and now I'm just kind of moving a little closer to the right as I'm working on this area still. And I like to rub the block across the car several times, and then of course there again, spray my rag, keeping it moist, wiping across the car. I'm just going to keep repeating this process. There's some really great people who work for Chadwicks. I have several reps from around the country on my Facebook page, and I see all their pictures and some of their projects. We even have one rep up north who actually Chadwicks the fire trucks, and I thought, how cool is that? That's incredible. But he posts a lot of those pictures on his Facebook. Shout out to you, man, because you got it going on up there. I would hate to see how much time it takes to Chadwick a fire truck. One of the good things about Chadwicks for me personally is about 10 years ago, I started having some medical problems. I have a degenerative disc disease, so it causes all kinds of issues for me personally with my back, and I've had 6 major back surgeries, so washing my car and keeping my car clean has become an issue, especially on the bad days. It's really hard to want to get up and do it, but Chadwicks makes it so much fun and so fun to watch when you're cleaning the car that it inspires you to get out and do it. And even on my bad days, I will get out and actually clean my car just because I enjoy doing it. And with Chadwicks Triple Play, it just doesn't really take that long. I mean, once you block your car, it's maybe, on my car, maybe 20 minutes. Maybe, depending. There again, I'm just kind of blocking, and I'm just really trying to get the grit up off of the back of her car. And if you missed part of the beginning of this video, my daughter actually lives on a dirt road, and she drives probably, I don't know, she barely stops for the stop signs to turn on that road, so she's probably driving this car at least 55 down the road. In the previous video, we demonstrated how much dirt was actually in the car, because I utilized the water hose to run as much dirt off of the car as I could possibly break loose before doing this demonstration. And that's just because there was so much dirt on the car. I didn't want to take a chance and make a mistake, so I did prep the car by rinsing some of the dirt off. Oh, and this is a good example. You can tell now I've sprayed the Chadwicks on and I've actually blocked it, so this is a pretty good demonstration of how it starts to change colors as the dirt starts to lift. So you can tell that my yellow has now actually turned brown, and in comparison, this is actually what the yellow looks like in the bottle when you spray it on, and this is what it's starting to look like as the dirt is starting to lift. And as I previously mentioned, I do not work for Chadwicks. I just endorse the product personally because it works for me. I think that there's plenty of products out there for everyone. I'm a firm believer that when you spend your hard-earned money on vehicles and houses, that you should really spend the time to take care of them. And Chadwicks just makes it so simple to take care of your car with a product that they have developed that it's well worth spending the money to get the kit. And depending on what state you're in, I know our rep, Aaron Bickle here in Georgia, he goes to a lot of car shows. So if you're interested in seeing a first-hand demonstration live and in person, not this isn't live and in person, but if you need to be a believer and see it in person, then you can check with Aaron and he can let you know what car show he's going to be at next, and or even schedule a time for him to meet with you and demonstrate the product on your car. He has enough people that work with him, Donald and Scott, his wife Michelle, that they'll be happy to see about scheduling you an appointment for them to come out and demo your car or take your car over to them, and they'll do it for you. A lot of people don't like clean their cars, they like other people to do, and there's nothing really wrong with that. But I do believe if you're going to still take care of your car, that you might as well have the Chadwicks guy handle it, cause you know what you're getting. The quality of the product is in the car. You can see it. It's firsthand. There's no $500 or $600 worth of ordering expensive product that's going to sit on the shelf after you've tried it once or twice and just gotten stuck with it. So this is a whole new ball game. Neil Chadwick worked endlessly to create a product that would work for every kind of car. So whether your car is an everyday driver car or you have a luxury automobile that you show, this product works great on any and all vehicles. And not only vehicles, I actually Chadwick my guitar as well. It's black and it keeps a nice gloss shine on it. Some people I know actually Chadwick their refrigerator. I can't do that, I have too many magnets on mine. But people use Chadwicks for all different kinds of things. It's not just for cars and trucks and motorcycles, but the primary development of the product was initiated for your vehicles. But you can kind of see what the other reps are using the product on through their personal Facebook pages. Not too long ago, Chadwicks actually developed a paint restoration product as well. I've actually had my paint restored twice during their development process. Aaron did an excellent job, and up here till recently, when my car was attacked by flying rocks, they were handling all the paint restoration on my car, and I'll be happy to post those pictures as well again on my Facebook. It looks incredible. But now you can actually purchase the paint restoration product from Chadwicks and do it at home yourself, or you can schedule an appointment and have someone come out and handle it for you. So we're still wiping, and I'm just going to kind of show you the process that we're at now. You can start to see that it's lifting in certain areas. Of course, now this car is not new. It does have some paint issues. It is scratched up and missing a few little chips here and there. But as you can tell when you're just looking at the paint is actually starting to loosen up a lot, or not the paint, but the dirt is actually starting to loosen up through the Chadwicks, and it's starting to wipe on and wipe off. So now you're just kind of seeing firsthand what the car is looking like as we are handling this. And I don't know, you may work at a factory too, and you may have that sandy grit on your car, and that's really the whole purpose of this video, is to demonstrate a product that can help you alleviate those issues. So there again, I'm just basically wiping and wiping and wiping. It's like Mission Impossible, but through Chadwicks we can get it done, get it taken care of. And I'm basically just wiping on, wiping off, wiping on, and wiping off. Seems a little repetitive, and your daily use of this product, if you're just cleaning your car once a week, won't be this intense. Like I said, the primary development for this video was to demonstrate how Chadwicks Triple Plate can actually lift the grit if you have some major surface areas on your vehicle that you really need to get the grit out of. This is basically the video for that. And I will probably, it's really hard to demonstrate Chadwicks on this white car because you can't really see as well as you can see it on my black car whenever I Chadwick it. So I will cut a Chadwicks video of how I clean my car, and we'll post that. It's really simple. It doesn't take near the time this video has taken at this point. And like I said, the video was developed to show you ways to lift the grit out of the surface of your car. So we're moving right along. It's starting to lift really well. This side still feels really smooth. You can really tell a huge difference on this side. This side we're still working on, which was actually the worst side. And I think primarily the reason there is so much underlying dirt on this car is because when you're driving down the dirt road really fast, the dirt tends to get trapped, like within the trunk and in the brake lights and in every little crease, the tag. So what happens is once you put the water to the car, if it rains or a sprinkler hits it, the car starts to release some of that dirt that it's entrapped, and it runs down, and apparently it's running down right here on the back end of my daughter's car. And there again, you can start to see the Chadwicks turning dirt. It's still dirty coming out. So at this point, we're just really trying to lift that dirt and get it out of the car so we can get the car cleaned up. So right now, I'm just basically trying to lift it. Just kind of loosen it, lift it. The way Chadwicks works is, when you spray Chadwicks on your car, initially you'll block your entire car. It won't be like this. It's basically a one pattern One you spray on, you wipe it with a block, then you wipe it with a rag, and then you wipe it off after the haze. It's a lot easier than doing what I'm doing today. This is basically a video to demonstrate how to get grit off of your car if you have problem areas. It's starting to lift really nice. It's got that nice feel, smooth, slick sensation to it now. And depending on how much grit you actually have on your car from dirt or other particles in the air, whether it be lime from a factory or dirt from a dirt road or salt from the beach, if you just basically take a few minutes out of your schedule and you just kind of go over your car and try to keep it Chadwick at all times, the Chadwicks will alleviate that from getting into the surface and causing further damage. The Chadwicks has a delightful smell that will really make you think that you are at the beach. Which, ironically, Neil is from South Florida, so I think that's great. I really like to wipe my car down. And sometimes I just open the bottle just to smell it because it smells so good. So a good bit of it has started to lift, and like I said, there are some problem areas on Natalie's car. So as you can tell, there's paint missing here, and that's Chadwicks does not replace paint, nor will they do that in the paint restoration system. Chadwicks works to correct the paint that's currently on the car, so clean the car. It puts a nice wax into the surface of the car, and then of course keeps your car coated no matter what conditions you may be traveling in, whether you live up north or you live at the beach or you just live down a dusty dirt road like my daughter does. Still just loosening the grit. And yes, I do see it's running down the car. At this point, I'm not concerned about the excess Chadwicks. For me personally, I'm just basically concerned about lifting the dirt because I'm going to wipe the car down when I get done anyway. So, I'm just working on lifting it. And there again, you're starting to see that the Chadwicks is turning slightly dirty. It's a nice fall day today. Unfortunately, the wind is blowing everything around. And just kind of show you where we're at. It's lifted up really nicely. It's not gritty anymore. One of the tests I like to do on my car is I usually sit a rag on it, and if the rag slides, then I know that there's enough wax on my car. But if I stick my finger on the car and it makes this noise like this, I know that it does not have enough Chadwicks on it, and I always like to go back. But you can kind of tell. Now when I run my finger across down here where we've been Chadwicking, absolutely nothing I can bear down. Nothing. Up here, you can kind of hear it. It's squeaky. Not the way you want your car to feel. And that's how Chadwicks Triple Play lifts the dirt from the dirt and grime that could be entrapped on your car's paint, on the surface of your car, whether you work at a factory or you live at the beach or you just live down a dusty dirt road. Whatever your particular circumstances may be, Chadwicks will work for you to help you take better care of your car. Now I'm going to clean up this mess from where it's run, and I'll basically just spray my Chadwicks on, and then I wipe, and I wipe. And there's a little bit of haze starting to appear, and you can kind of tell once that haze starts to appear, you're basically wiping it off. I try to keep my rags quartered so that I have easier control of the surface of the rag. And I like to rotate them around as well. Okay. Natalie's car has not been blocked She works full-time and goes to college, so I don't see her as much as I would like to see her. My oldest daughter actually has a Chadwicks kit, and I taught her how to Chadwick her car, which, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say she had her car prior to Natalie getting this one, so. Still wiping. Okay, I'm gonna go back over this a couple more times and then we'll call it a day. I'm really pleased with the way that it's lifted the grit thus far because there was so much grit and so much dirt on this car today. And I know that when you work a full-time job and you're in school, or you work a full-time job and you have a bunch of kids at your house and you don't really have a whole lot of time, your priorities aren't really in line to take care of your car. So Chadwicks actually makes it really simple for you to take better care of your car and keep it looking showroom quality. Now, smooth as can be, just like that. So if you need to hook up for Chadwicks Triple Play, it's chadwickstripleplay.com to reach Neil Chadwick. If you're in the Georgia area, you'd like to talk to Aaron Bickle, Donald, or even Scott or Michelle about your car and getting it demoed or purchasing product for your car, you can log on to their website, which is alwaysperfectauto.com right here, and let your car be Chadwicked.